Well, I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend. I would recommend you check them both out if you get the opportunity. Oh, Ophelia, she's so elegant. Hi, I'm Sock Marionette, doing business as bargain counter argument, and I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books. And it is Friday. Yeah, Friday. December 26th, Boxing Day in some locales. And it is kind of overcast right now here in central Connecticut. It's cold, and we're supposed to get snow later this afternoon, so I have to go out. I have to go to the library. The earworm of the day is something that I heard it from a friend. Who heard it from a friend? Who heard it from another? You've been messing around. Yes, it is Taken on the Run by REO Speedwagon. Link in the description. And I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Because of connecting with Abby Crafts Reads and her stocking stuffer swap, it's hard to say that without stumbling, I got to meet new friends who are mostly from the crafting community as opposed to the booktube community, because I love my booktubers, and now I'm growing to love my crafttubers. Is crafttuber the term? I don't know. Anyway, my swap partner was Gina of Perfectly Imperfect Junk Journals, and she sent me a lovely box, and I've been kind of checking out some of her related channels, and I found Gwen the Trash Witch, link in the description, and she does something, she calls it an open collaboration. I don't know if she started it or somebody else, but it's Flip Through Friday, and the idea is you just, on a Friday, you flip through a book, or a scrapbook, a journal, just anything like that. And you post it on Friday with the hashtag Flip Through Friday. And I decided I wanted to try that. So, more about that in a moment. This video will be divided into parts, and you should be able to easily skip to Flip Through Friday if that's what you're here for. First, though, I'm going to talk about my library book returns and do my ornament exchange. I think I'll take this one off. We have, let's see if I can get the hanger out of the way. We have a door. Ooh, what's on the other side of it? Carolers! Look, they're caroling. He's got a top hat, she's got a full skirt, and looks like a bonnet even. Let's see if I can get this so you can see it. Ooh, shiny. I like to think that they're in the middle of their own little romance. And what goes on the tree now is the next ornament from my 12 Days of Christmas Ornaments box. And that would be, of course, 2 turtle doves, and that's the back of the ornament. Very festive. And there are... look at the pretty birds. Look at them being all pretty and birdie. Ooh, I love that. And I will put that right there. There. It'd be right below the partridge in a pear tree, because he's probably getting a little lonely. Or she. The books I'm returning, I had 4 books that are due today, and as of yesterday morning, I had not read any of them. I decided that Fox by Joyce Carol Oates is long, and I'm not in the right mood for it. I do like Joyce Carol Oates a lot, but I have to be in the right mood, and I wasn't. And I also, so I'm returning that, but I will be checking it out again to read it. And the same with this book, Ladylike by Mackenzie Lee. Queer historical romance. I am looking forward to reading this. I just can't get it done soon enough for the library, but I will check it out again soon. The books I did actually read are The Society of Unknowable Objects by Gareth Brown, who wrote The Book of Doors, which I read, I think, earlier this year, very early this year, or maybe it was sometime last year. I don't remember, but I did read it and enjoyed it, and I enjoyed this one as well. The unknowable objects are these kind of seemingly random objects that have magical properties, like there's a chess piece. Well, I don't want to say what the chess piece does because that's a bit of a spoiler. There's like an emerald pendant that allows the wearer to fly. And there's a knife that controls the wind, that kind of thing. And it did remind me of a little bit of a mini series from the late 90s or early 2000s starring Juliana Margulies and Peter Krause called The Lost Room, which I very much enjoyed. That also had these mysterious objects that just could do things. And But this took it, well, I mean, it kind of went in a similar direction because you end up with like a sort of international chase. And I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the miniseries, and I would recommend you check them both out if you get the opportunity. The other book that I read, so I read that one yesterday in between naps. I was so tired. And then I started this last night, got about halfway through, and then finished it this morning, and I really enjoyed it. It is Writing Mr. Wrong by Kelly Armstrong. It is about a romance novelist who went to high school with a guy who's now a star enforcer in the NHL. And so you can see he's a hockey romance. And he rejected her in a way in high school in a way that she found socially humiliating. So when she goes to write her first romance book, everybody tells her your hero has to be kind of a jerk. He has to be an alpha male jerk. And so she kind of bases him a little bit on this guy. They end up meeting and fake date. They end up having a reunion very early on in the book and fake dating. And they get to know each other a little bit better, and they discuss the issues that separated them in the past and are causing problems for them in the present. And I really, really liked it. It's a very nice hockey romance. There is swearing in this book. There is some pretty advanced making out. But when it comes to the actual full physical intimacy, the door closes. So if you don't like spice, this is a great one to read. So those are my library returns. And now a little bit about what I'm going to be doing now. I already talked about what Flip Through Friday is. What I decided to flip through is this book. I've got light coming from two directions. There we go. Ophelia's World. There we go. By Michelle Dirksen-Kleis. This book was published in 1984, so several years before the birth of Taylor Allison Swift. So it doesn't have any connection with the popular song. However, I think we can all agree that Ophelia looks like a bear who does in fact keep it 100 on the land, the sea, the sky. Anyway, so that'll be what I'm flipping through this time. And in the flip through, which I've already recorded, I really enjoyed doing it. It's a new format for me, and I'm looking forward to playing around with it in the future. I did mention Ophelia's Voyage to Japan, but I think I misremembered the title as Ophelia Goes to Japan, just FYI. I don't go through that book in this video. I think I'll do that in the future because, like I said, I really enjoyed doing the flip through. It's really a lot of fun, and I'm glad I saw that that video by Gwen the Trash Witch. Again, a link in the description. So that is a Boxing Day, the 26th of December, Friday, and enjoy the video. Today we are looking at Ophelia's World, the memoirs of a Parisian shopgirl by Michelle Dirksen-Kleis. Now this is from 1984. It's about Ophelia, a Parisian shopgirl, and you can see here she's having a nice little lounge. Hashtag relatable. She dedicated the book to the memory of Margareta Steiff, the Steiff bears, famous teddy bears from Germany. And this is Ophelia's friend Schnüffy. And that down there, that little mouse down in the corner, let's see if we can get really close up, is Monsieur Ritz, who is the sort of the security system for the shop. The book itself has a fair amount of text. It's sort of a monthly accounting of Ophelia's life as this owner of a Parisian shop. But the emphasis here, for me at least, is on these scrapbook style, just beautiful layouts, showing pictures of Ophelia and her various friends and the context of the shop. See there, you can see this is Zenobia Onassis, who is an American bearer who lives in Paris. She is distantly related to the shipping family. And Ricky Jean, and there's Monsieur Ritz again. And Ricky Jean is French for yellow. So we're just going through and seeing these beautiful images of Ophelia's world. There's not really a story. It's just kind of she goes to parties, she hangs out with her friends and has a good time. It's really more of an invitation to enjoy this whimsical world. Here we have Heidi von Rosa and Clafouti and Ophelia with feathers. And I found this book at a library shop. A lot of libraries in Connecticut have permanent bookstores. You know, libraries will have a little nook or something where they sell books, or they'll have a once a year or twice a year sale in a community space. But some of the libraries in Connecticut have separate shops. They're usually in the same building, but with a separate entrance and separate hours, run by volunteers. And I found this at the shop for the Meriden Public Library, and I was absolutely enchanted. This is just right up my alley. And I was showing it to my mom, and she thought it was nice too. But she was like, who is this made for? And I was like, people like us. Because it's not that Ophelia, a young Dr. Churchill, another friend of Ophelia's, it's not that Ophelia gets up to like seriously adult shenanigans. I mean, she has friendships and romances, and she goes to parties and she drinks champagne. But I mean, it's adult behavior in a bear, but very genteel adult behavior in a bear. And so it's not really for kids exactly. And I said, well, it's for people like us. And my mother had to concede the reality of that. There's Conrad with Prince Albert and Anemone. Anyway, so this is Ophelia's world. And they have outfits. There's Conrad with his opera glasses. Mona Lisa. I believe she's a beekeeper, and that's why she's wearing that particular outfit. So we're up to May. Popey and Marcello with Monsieur Ritz. These gorgeous images, they're so beautiful, but they're also very stuffed, which is appropriate for a stuffed bear. So I'm having trouble finding Monsieur Ritz. Maybe you can spot him. Leave a note in the comments. You have correspondence and postcards and more bears and their outfits. And Popey's financial records. It's just really an amazing book. It's just gorgeous. Again, this was published in 1984, and there were some follow-up books. And I have Ophelia Goes to Japan, which I think I'll do in a future Flip Through Friday. And there's like Ophelia's Etiquette for Bears. I think it's called No Bad Bears, and it's her Etiquette for Bears. I don't have that. I had, like I said, I found this one at a library sale, and then I got the second one. I think I got that through Amazon or maybe eBay. I don't remember, but I mean, these, I don't know that these have been reprinted. The second book came out in 1986. And I'm going to go through these a little faster. Oh, Ophelia, she's so elegant. Oh, and he's kind of dashing. I'm going to flip through this, and of course you can always pause the video to get a more detailed view. So, it's my kind of thing. Oh, all these postcards. Oh, just enjoy the rich inner lives of stuffed animals and their little businesses and friendships and social calendars and memorabilia. Here's Schnuffy is very interested in Japan, and I think he figures heavily, of course, into Ophelia Goes to Japan. Like I said, I will do that in the future. Camille, Jean de Noël, little dancing slippers. Oops. I think I slid the book over a little bit. This is Ophelia's desk for November. I think each month has that format, Ophelia's desk for whatever month it is. Zenobia and Ophelia with the teeny bears. They're the teeny bears. They have their own little, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Vignette, venue. They even have a mirror ball. My bears have several mirror balls because I got them as Christmas ornaments, and then they just kind of enjoy them. And there is her desk for December. And there is Clarence and Ophelia, one true pairing. And here is Michelle. Let's see if I can get this centered. Here's Michelle Kleiss, and it says, Michelle Dirksen Kleiss's love of bears, there are 90 in her collection, grew from her lifelong interest in antique toys. A commercial interior and window display designer, Michelle owns the Bazar des Bears in the historic Pike Place Market in Seattle, Washington, and is the author of My Circle of Bears, published in 1981. Now, I would be very surprised if that is still there all these years later, decades later. And I think her skill as an interior designer, and especially as a window designer, display designer, is very much on display here. Anyway, this is just, again, this is the kind of thing I frequently enjoy, and I thought I would share it. So thank you for joining me for Flip Through Friday. I appreciate your spending the time and the attention here. And if you liked what you saw, please like, comment, share, or subscribe. Or don't. I am not the boss of you, and I hope you have a good day or night.